this is like a bit of a hot take myself that I've had for a long time, and it's not really even like a hot take because this is stuff people have been saying for years, but it always pisses people off to say.
Yeah.
Nuking Japan was the right thing to do.
Oh, 100%.
Like, because
100%.
we had two options: either we nuke Japan,
Or we go in
and
hard.
we were only going to nuke them once, and they refused to surrender after the first nuke. And a lot of people also don't talk about how the day before both bomb drops, we flew over with planes and dropped leaflets in Japanese telling them, we're about to bomb this place, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Then nobody ever talks about that.
Which is what Israel does now. And no one ever talks about that either.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
So, so it was like, America comes in from the eastern side of Japan, Russia comes in from the western side of Japan through China, and then we pincer them, and it would kill tens of millions more people than even if you combine all the negative effects that came after the nukings, like the cancer and all that stuff.
Nowhere near what would have happened with a ground invasion.
Yeah, the ground invasion, the Japanese would have been wiped out. Like the Japanese would be like Japan.
We would have North and South Japan.
Yeah, exactly.
And
the communist
that would be far worse than dude. I'm a weeb, and I fucking love dude. I actually studied, fucking Nihongo shabetta, Nihongo kita, fucking I can actually speak Japanese because that's how much I love that shit, right?
Well, goddamn, the only Japanese word I know is nani. And I can apologize.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm dude, I've been translating hentai since I was 12.
You are a scholar, man. You are a scholar and a gentleman.
No. But so I'm assuming you've heard of Boku no Pico?
Can't say that I have.
Okay, don't watch it. But anyway, okay. Since you haven't heard of it, I'm not gonna say anything. But anyway,
I guarantee.
Don't worry about it.
Any of the 30 to 35 people on BitChute who are going to watch this are currently Googling. What is this shit that he's talking about?
Yeah, you're gonna regret it. But anyway, actually no, maybe not in your case. No, actually you would.
No, I'm not going to look it up. I already forgot what you said.
But yeah, 100%. Japan, if the US did a ground invasion in Japan, it would have been far more costly in both the civilian and the military terms. Because
exactly.
Keep in mind, these people were willing to sacrifice their sons for the glory of Japan. That's what the entire kamikaze idea was.
Yeah, they were doing.
Japan was a lot more brainwashed than Nazi Germany was.
Yeah, I was about to say the Germans didn't enact total war until until the Allies actually invaded Germany. That's whenever they said, "Okay, break out the Hitler Youth, we're going total war." The Japanese were already doing it, and where they were like, "Okay, well, Hitler's down, we're going to get invaded, so start teaching your children how to shoot Americans because they're coming."
Well, I mean, they already knew.
Well, yeah, exactly. But it's like they were ready.
Yeah, exactly. Like they were going to do it, and it's like you ignore, see, my main problem is I don't know if it's the same people doing this, but the same people who say that we should not have, well, actually no, I just contradicted myself. So one argument is that we should not have invaded Japan. But then you have another side of, a different argument where if someone invades the continental United States, there would be a rifle behind every blade of grass. And it's like, so how do those two worldviews mesh? Because Japan was about as ready to wage, basically total war on their own homeland against any invader. And the only way that was headed off was because we nuked them. We sent a little boy and a fat man, which is starting to sound like a really, really bad Shota gay dojin. But anyway.
Oh, man. Fat man and little boy.
Yeah, let's go. I told you when I signed up for this. I'm going to find every instance I can to spread the gospel of monster girls. So don't regret this.
Hey, and you know what? That's perfectly fine. You do you, buddy. I'm an objectivist, man. I'm all about doing whatever the fuck makes you happy, as long as you're.
God, you're fucking Randians and your goddamn objectivism. Anyway.
Oh.
Let's go.
I don't consider myself a Randian. I'm a Pykoffian. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding. It's the same.
Let's go into the weeds, are we?
But
Oh,
no,
man.
no, 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 no. There's literally no difference. Peikoff did not in any way make any changes to objectivism after he more or less took over for her. He is very much he was preaching the gospel that he was taught.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Look, the only thing that I have in terms of Randian objectivism is I was forced to read Atlas Shrugged as part of my
Oh
coursework.
God, I'm
So
sorry.
yeah, I know, right? Like
So
I've been told I should have read Fountainhead first because it's supposedly a lot easier. But yeah, like yeah,
well, I
every time
mean,
I mention that, people have just been like, my condolences.
yeah,
And
and
I'm
here's the
like,
thing,
eh.
I'm a fan, and like it's a hard read, man. It's a hard read.
Look, okay, so there are people I studied with in high school who went through the same issues that I went through in high school, right? And
Yeah.
part of that issue was having to read Le Comte de Monte Cristo and Les Miserables in
He did not.
French.
Ooh, I was about to say I read The Count of Monte Cristo, but I didn't read it in French. I read it in
Yeah, we
English.
had to read both of them in French. And Les Miserables is basically Lord of the Rings, but in French. So, like, half of the book is dedicated to describing the scenery.
Was
And
Russell
it
Crowe
is,
in the book too?
oh, God, I wish it was. That would be a lot better. Jesus. Russell Crowe and Hugh Jackman. Let's go. But
It's
yeah,
funny. After
yeah,
after
like,
2 years of beating my girlfriend over the head, she finally sat down and watched 3:10 to Yuma with me, which the one that's got Russell Crowe and Christian Bale, and she loved it. And she
oh,
didn't
yeah,
think she
let's
was
go.
going to because she doesn't like westerns. But I'm like, you're gonna like this. Trust me.
Oh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. But yeah, um, yeah, Atlas Shrugged was a fucking pain in the half.
Well, I
And
mean,
the only, yeah.
Galt's speech is so hard to get through because it's so long. And the thing is, you think it'd get easier the second time you try to read it. No, it's harder because you
Oh,
know.
yeah, you know what pain is ahead.
So you know, and you're just like, I'm dreading this, and then you get to like Galt gets on the radio and starts explaining objectivism to the people, and it's just like, oh god. No,
Just
I'm
shoot me now. Shoot
yeah,
me.
and like I will say this, she did have some really good stuff in there. Like I actually think Denconia's money speech is probably her best written, like the best written piece of the book is Denconia's money speech at well no, it wasn't Reardon's birthday.
I
What yeah, some
Good question, man.
whatever party he was at.
I got no clue, really. Seriously.
But
Like
yeah.
as I said, I was forced to read this part of coursework. I did it like 10 years ago, and you know what? The sooner I forgot it, the better.
Yeah. No, I mean I'm a fan. Like I'm a fan of her, not necessarily her work. Like
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I'm an objectivist, and I never read The Fountainhead. I've never read We the it's not We the People, it's We the Living. I never read
Oh,
We the
okay.
Living or The Fountainhead.
We the
and
People
I
sounds
read it.
like the start of a terrible communist fucking manifesto.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, no, it's called We the Living. But I
Oh,
never
okay.
read any of that stuff. Like I actually my objectivist Bible, for lack of a better term, is actually Peikoff's book from 1974, which is literally just this is objectivism. Here's what we believe. Like here's the epistemology and the metaphysics, and it takes you through the entire thing, and you don't have to parse through her prose in order to figure it out. Even though
Ah,
she doesn't use a lot of metaphor, she kind of just tells you straight up. But still, you don't
okay.
have to go through the prose. You can just read Peikoff's book and it'll tell you everything you need to know.
Well, send me a link to this where I can find it. So
Yeah, I bought
like
it on Amazon. That's where I got
if
it.
it's like if it's an easier, sort of like digest of what objectivism is, because like I've always been interested, but yeah, I think part of the reason is the fact that I was forced to read it made me averse to it, I guess.